Welcome back, guys. Thanks for taking a few moments and joining us today. We really appreciate that. We're going to dive into yesterday's Mississippi State game primarily, but we're also going to talk about UT's basketball victory up at Louisville yesterday. Very nice win. And we're going to finish the day up talking about the college football playoff. Things got a little bit more clear yesterday, and I think that some things broke Tennessee's way. Well, let's get back into this game. Obviously, storyline of the game is health. Um, Nico's primarily, but we had a lot of injuries yesterday. Um, let's look at Nico. We're going to need him real bad next week. Playing Georgia, their backs are against the wall after their humiliation yesterday at Ole Miss. So they're going to be definitely ready to rock and roll. We're going to need Nico, and we're going to need the best version of Nico. Uh, Nico probably, and I'm just speculating here, I'm going to say he's probably got a concussion, judging by, the word term upper body injury and the fact he had a towel on his head after the game, keeping out light sensitivity. Uh, we'll say, though, that he also walked, it looks like his left arm was hanging a little bit. So we know if you're you know, just want pure speculation, it's probably one of those two things. But don't put no money on it, on either one. Uh, But the question is, will he be ready for Georgia in a week? I'd say that's a possibility. Heupel says they expect him back, but as we've joked, and everyone really that covers Tennessee jokes about Josh and his injury reports, can't put really any stock in that. Um, but he wasn't the only injury he had yesterday. Dante Thornton, a big play guy, he went out. Both of our offensive guards did not finish the game. Carrick and Spraggins both got hurt during the course of the game. Uh, we're going to need these guys healthy and healthy quick for next week. Um, but overall, I mean, Dylan got hurt, come back in, had another 140 some yard game. Well, that sounds kind of like a broken record, doesn't it? Uh, Dylan just keeps producing. We saw more run from Peyton Lewis yesterday as Deshaun Bishop missed the game with an injury still. And saw a little bit of Cam Seldon yesterday, which surprised me. Uh, so, but moving forward, offensively, the key is now getting healthy, whereas it was, trying to get everybody on the same page all at the same time. Um, but defensively, let's go back over there. It's been carrying us all year long, and I would say it carried us again yesterday, even though the last 2 weeks they've looked human, particularly in the run defensive game. I was surprised that Mississippi State was able to not just get chunk plays, but pick up 5, 6, 7 yards when they needed to. Uh, that said, at the end of the day, gave up 14 points in an SEC game. Once again, opponent did not get to 20 points. This is an incredible streak, really, that Vols are on in this day and age. Uh, Shout out to several players. Norman Lott, big sack there at the end. Boo Carter, we've sung his praises on here since before he signed with Tennessee and committed to Tennessee. Uh, we've talked about him in the punt return game. He finally got a shot yesterday. It seemed like it took a long time, but I don't think we'll have to watch a very long time to see it again. There's your man for whenever, until he gets out of here. There's your punt returner. Big play guy. He's a playmaker, and that's what he did yesterday. Had several big plays on defense as well. Uh, to come up and run support good on top of that. Boo Carter kind of coming on into his own at the right time of the year for us. Um, our linebackers are, I think they were out of position a little bit yesterday. I think some of our run gaps by our defensive line was out of position yesterday. Uh, but that said, once again, 14 points. Pierce starting to show up. Got him a sack yesterday. Uh, I'll take this game any day of the week. An ugly win. I've said that unfortunately a couple of times lately. An ugly win is much better than a pretty loss. And I won't even say even how ugly this was when you had so many injuries. Um, but it was a W. Also over the weekend, getting a W was the men's team went up to Louisville and really just jumped on Louisville from the get-go. Rick Barnes' guys with all the transfers just jumped right out on them really quick, doubled them up, and really never looked back. Chaz Lanier got uncorked this game, uh, had 19 points. Zakai, he did too. You know, Zakai had 11 turnovers yesterday, and that don't bother me a bit because that's not who Ziegler is. Uh, he will not have another game like that on the turnover route. But otherwise, I mean, he had a fine game with the ball, getting his teammates involved. You know, we locked down Louisville all game long. They could not shoot. Uh, you know, surprise, Rick Barnes, another good defensive team. Uh, it's going to be fun watching this team progress as the year goes on with all these newcomers. Milicic, Para, uh, Darlington Dubar has been missing some personal issues. I'll hope he can get back soon. And of course, you know, it's just when you start out, anytime you start out with probably the best defensive duo in the country in your backcourt, uh, you're going to be in a position to be in any game, and that's what Barnes has here. So another W for Rick and a W for the Lady Vols over the, I think it was Friday night. It's going to be fun to watch. Kim Caldwell's girls. Going to be fun to watch. I want to make it to a game or two this year. I've not said that in a while. Uh, but she plays a fun, exciting style of ball and an effective style. She wins a lot. So that's going to be fun. I think it's a great hire for Danny White. And once again, that whole athletic department just looking great. And looking great also, I think coming out of yesterday's games was our college football playoff outlook. You know, everybody's kind of focused on the Georgia Tech Miami game, uh, seeing the Hurricanes go down. But a lot of things kind of broke our way. With Ole Miss beating Georgia, put Georgia on the edge. If we win next week, you pretty much say they're eliminated. Um, Kansas eliminated for all intents and purposes yesterday. Iowa State, um, a two-loss Big 12 team is not getting in. And really, that's the story of the last 2 weeks. It went from thinking, will the Big 12 and the ACC get maybe a total of three, possibly even four teams, you know, two teams from out of each conference into the college football playoff. And I said on last week's podcast that I saw a path now that the ACC not getting two teams in. Um, and I think it's just the path kept getting better for us yesterday. Um, with Iowa State being eliminated out of everything, I don't think Colorado is. Uh, I've not really mentioned them yet much in the picture. Maybe I should, but I don't think they're in. So it looks like the Big 12 very likely down to possibly one team. In the ACC now, if Miami had been in a situation where they went into their conference championship game undefeated and lost, then both the winner and Miami would have gotten in. And that's not necessarily the case anymore. If Miami goes in there and loses, that could be elimination for them. Um, point out LSU probably got eliminated yesterday, but getting smacked by Bama 42-13. And out in the Big 12 country, before I move away from the Big 12, a lot of controversy out there. BYU winds up beating Utah 22-21. And you have the athletic director for Utah saying that the referees robbed them of the victory, saying that they was excited about being in the Big 12 when they first went, but they're not anymore. And I would say, to me, the angle I saw of one key play, although there was a couple, on 4th and 10 at their own 10-yard line, BYU is able to extend the drive after Utah's called for a defensive holding. And from the angle that I saw, I would say at best it was a ticky-tack foul. You could not really see, you couldn't really see from the one angle that I've seen showed on replay. Looked more like the receiver. There was some hand contact, first 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, just every day, every play. And the receiver stumbles a little bit, and the flag is thrown. Without seeing a better angle, you couldn't really say if that was a good or a bad call. But it did look ticky-tack to me. And it kept that drive alive till BYU could go down and kick the game-winning field goal. So all in all, I think we got to be pretty happy with what happened yesterday around the country. It looks like there's opening up a pathway to getting at least 4 SEC teams in. And we've had a couple of SEC teams probably got eliminated, or are on the brink of elimination. Not named Tennessee. So I love that. So guys, if you enjoyed today's show, give us a like. If it's your first time watching us, consider subscribing. And I keep saying us. My brother's not here with me today. He's had some car trouble. So, make him feel better. Give us a few subscribers. Put a smile on his face. So guys, I appreciate it once again, and we'll see you soon. Go Big Orange.